Hey everybody, it's Leisha Yost, founder of UpGusto Personal Development, and I created this special podcast episode specifically to get you started on the right foot and get you going down the right path toward awesomeness. If you don't feel like your life is 100% perfect, and that should most assuredly include everyone who's listening to this, then this could be the most important thing you listen to this year. I'm going to share with you one secret to accomplishing any goal. Yes, any goal. I have one secret for accomplishing any goal or turning any dream you have into a reality. And isn't that what we all really want, to turn our biggest dreams into a reality? So that's why I created this for you. So let's get started. The number one thing. Here it is. Are you ready? This is a big one, and I'm not going to dilly-dally and put you in suspense. I'm going to tell you right now what you need to do. When you have a goal that you want to see come to fruition, the number one thing you should be doing each day to make that happen is simply spending time on that goal. Yep, you see, it's not really that complicated, is it? It's really simple, and yet it's still so hard for all of us, isn't it? We've got work, we've got family, we've got housework, we have to run errands, and the list goes on and on and on. And most of us aren't multimillionaires who can just hire maids to clean our house, or personal chefs to prepare our meals, a full-time au pair to take care of our kids, or a personal assistant to run all our errands, schedule appointments, and make important phone calls. No, we all have to do all of that ourselves, so we run out of time. But I believe that if you want to do something, if you really want to do it, you will find a way. You will make it happen. You will make it a priority. And that's what it's about. It's about priorities. Making your life goals, small or large, a priority. Most of us don't have a lot of spare time, and I'm sure most of you feel like you have no spare time. But all of us are given the same exact amount of time each day. We all have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year. And if you were to really take note of every single minute you spend each day, you would find out how much time is wasted. Did you know that the average American spends an average of 4 hours per day watching TV? That is really a lot of time to spend on a completely mindless activity that gets us nowhere. That's 13 years straight in an average lifetime. 13 years straight, 24/7 of watching TV. Doesn't that sound insane when you think about it that way? Can you imagine spending 13 years 24/7 on something that doesn't actually get you anywhere in life? Well, that's what most people are doing. And you might not watch that much TV. Heck, you may not watch any TV at all, but the point is that every single one of us has a half an hour a day that we can spend differently. An hour a day that we can spend differently even. Yes, even if you have kids, you just need to figure out what changes you can make and create an action plan. Be resourceful. And toward the end of this podcast, I'm going to share with you a simple plan for you to make it happen. So what do you really want to do with your life? Do you want to keep going exactly how you've been going? Or do you have some things that you want to do in your life that you haven't been able to do yet? Now, one trick is really simple. It's not easy, but it's really simple. All you really have to do is spend a little bit of time each day on getting towards your goal. And I'm going to add another little tip right here in the middle. Even just spending a half an hour meditating about what you want for your life will give you the right mindset to make the right choices all day long. It will keep you focused. You may have a goal right now that you want to accomplish, or something you want to do in the future, but you don't really know how to get there. So, what do? You need to spend a little bit of time each day trying to figure out how to get there, and then spend a little bit of time each day doing the action steps it takes to get you there. Let's say you don't have all the resources or the knowledge to accomplish your goal. Then you need to spend a little bit of time gaining that knowledge, or creating or finding those resources to be able to accomplish your goal. Nobody knows everything, and nobody has all the resources they need when they're born. A lot of people have accomplished great things without starting out with the resources they needed to make it happen. So it's not about having the resources, it's really about being resourceful. And all it takes in order to become resourceful is the desire to make something come to fruition, and then spending your time wisely. spending your time to gain the information and the knowledge you need to make something happen, and then spending the time to use that knowledge to do the steps it takes to make something happen. We have the internet at our fingertips. Almost any information you could need can be found on the internet. If it's not on the internet, there's a phone number on the internet that you can call with a person on the other end that will answer your questions, or there's an email or a contact form you can fill out to get answers. We are so lucky to live in this digital age. We have so many more resources out there ready to grab and use. Tutorials, guides, videos, blogs, encyclopedias, forums. So take advantage of that. Once you figure out what you need to do, the next step is to create a plan of action. There's no point in having goals and dreams if you don't create an action plan to make it happen. Once you have an action plan in place, you need to create a timeline. A timeline for what you need to get done to make your goal come to fruition. You can write all of this in a physical journal, or in a Word document or Excel spreadsheet, or create a special folder on your computer specifically for this one goal you have. And whether you want to start a business, or backpack across Europe, or retire by a certain age, you need to spend some time on your goals each day, or it will never happen. Figure out what your main goal is for your life at the moment. Figure out where you waste a bit of your time each day. What activities do you do that you can go without or do less often? You can spend a half hour less each week cleaning your house. You can spend a half hour less each week stalking people or chatting on Facebook. Most likely you can spend a half hour less each day watching TV. I used to watch about 3 hours of TV before going to bed. And this was mainly because I had so much anxiety that I couldn't settle my brain to go to sleep at night. It would take 3 hours of leaving reality for my mind to get off the worries of life and finally be able to fall asleep. Well, once I worked on managing my anxiety, I began to sleep much easier. And now I watch half as much TV per night, which still probably sounds like a lot to some of you. But TV is my main form of relaxing entertainment, and it's practically free. So, either way, now I have an extra hour and a half each day that I can dedicate to my goals. My goals could be spending more time with family, working more on my business, or getting active and spending more time on my fitness. And now I have 10 and a half more hours per week to devote to my goals simply because I cut my TV viewing time in half. All of this can really be a process. You have to figure out the core of the problem, what your obstacle is. I discovered that my anxiety was my biggest obstacle in life. My anxiety caused me to waste more time watching TV so I could have an escape from reality, escape from the stresses of life, so I could actually fall asleep at night. So I worked on managing my anxiety first. I had to be more mindful of what was causing my anxiety and why. I worked on positive self-talk and meditating rather than freaking out and thinking the worst will happen. And I slowly began to realize and truly believe deep down that God was going to take care of me as long as I did my best in life. And all of this has helped me to decrease my anxiety, and I have never been so happy in my life for such an extended period of time since I began to finally take control and manage my anxiety. I sleep so much better at night, which makes me more rested and makes me more productive during the day. And in the end, conquering my main obstacle increased the amount of time I can spend on my goals. So figure out what your main obstacle is and develop a plan to conquer it. Mine was a long process. It took me months of being extremely mindful and proactive about it to be able to bring my anxiety down to what I consider to be a more normal state, and therefore made me able to decrease my TV watching. For you, it may be a process similar to mine, or it might be really easy. For instance, if you watch TV purely for entertainment purposes and not as an escape from the realities of life, you could simply just watch a half hour less of TV per evening and work on your goals. All of this is just an example. I'm not against TV, and TV also might not be your biggest time sucker. You may watch very little TV, or you may not watch TV at all. But everyone has 24 hours a day, and what it comes down to is priorities. What are your priorities in life? Sometimes we spend hours per day on things that aren't even a priority to us. So figure out what your priorities are, and see if how you spend your time is really in line with your priorities. Then figure out what your goals are for your life. both short term and long term, and see if what you spend your time on lines up with your goals. What are you doing that you can give up half an hour or an hour of to spend more time to make your life what you really want it to be? I know watching TV is great and all, or whatever it is you do with your spare time, but is that how you want your life to be for the rest of your life? The only way your life is going to change is if you change, if you make the changes, if you do something different. So if you want your life to be better, you have to do better things. And that's really all it takes. And mainly what it takes is your time and how you spend your time. So think of a half hour where you waste your time, something you're doing that isn't getting you toward your goal, and spend that time differently every single day and see where that leads you. If you spend half an hour every single day working on a goal, I can guarantee you that it will be accomplished. Where can you find just 30 minutes of each day to work on your main goals? Or maybe one day per week you can spend 3 solid hours just working on your goals, whatever that may be. It depends on what your goal is, but do what works for you. It's your life. If your goal is to live a healthier lifestyle, then you'll probably need to dedicate a half hour to an hour each day putting together a healthy meal and exercising. If your goal is to start your own online business, you could spend a few hours one day per week working on that. If your goal is to go to Europe, then you'll need to save up that money. So maybe you need to take up another part-time job. To some of you, working more than you already do might sound insane, but if you really want to insert financial goal or experience here, then you'll do what it takes. It all comes down to having a good balance between what you want to spend your time on now and what experiences you want to have in this life, and what you want your life to be like, and where you want to end up in the future. So here are your action steps. Number 1, write down all your priorities about your current life. What matters to you? Or what do you think you should be spending your time on? Number 2, write down all your goals, things you want to accomplish in the near and far future. So this is what you want to happen with your life in general. Number 3, spend a few days studying the way you spend every minute of each day. Figure out what your biggest time wasters are and where you can lessen and limit some of those activities. Number 4, dig deep and try to figure out why you spend the time you do on time-wasting activities. Discover your main obstacle when it comes to lessening the time-wasting activities. Number 5, work on conquering that obstacle. Whatever you need to do to conquer that obstacle so that you're able to lessen your time-wasting activities, do it. Number 6, start spending 30 minutes per day differently, or spend about 3 hours per week differently. If you really want something to happen, then take the steps to get there. You have to make a decision about when you're going to dedicate this time on your goals. Is it going to be every night at 8 p.m.? Is it going to be every morning for the first 30 minutes or hour? Is it going to be every Sunday afternoon? Make a decision and stick to it, and give yourself reminders wherever possible. Alarms or alerts on your phone or computer, sticky notes on your bathroom mirror, things like that. Number 7, bring trusting friends and family into it. Tell them what you're doing and why. Tell them you'd really like to have their support. Number 8, once you finally have that time set aside, the first step is to research what you need and what you need to do. Number 9, the next step is to create an action plan based on your findings from your research. What are you going to do daily? What are you going to do in the coming months? What are you going to do in the coming years to make your dreams come true? Number 10, the final step is simply just spending the time, taking the necessary steps to accomplish your goals, carrying out your action plan. So there you have it. The number 1 secret to getting what you want out of life in the long run is to spend just a little bit of time each day or each week on your main goals. Spend time on making it happen. But you have to figure out what your priorities and goals are. You have to figure out what you really want out of life. Then you have to find the time. Sometimes there are obstacles to being able to find the time or the motivation and discipline. So you may have to develop new habits to create that time, motivation, and discipline. Once you have that time set aside, all you have to do is make things happen. I know it's hard, but it's really important that you stop blaming other things for your circumstances. Stop complaining about how you don't have the time, and start taking personal responsibility. It's on you whether or not you accomplish your goals. No one can do it for you, and you have the ability inside of you to be able to accomplish whatever you want. It's just a matter of doing what it takes. Don't wait any longer to make your dreams come true. Do what it takes, starting today. That's all for today. Thanks a bunch for joining me. I'm really glad you're listening and learning. It's so awesome having you along for the ride because I have so much for you. Stick with me and let's make life awesome. Now go start making things happen.